The Suzuki S-Cross has been made by the Japanese brand for quite a few years, but you'd be forgiven if you'd forgotten about it. It has been a bit of a poor relation in the SUV market thanks to its bland and awkward styling. However, there's now a new model, but is it any more memorable? So the first thing you'll notice is this new shiny chrome grille, which isn't really to my taste. I just think it's a bit tacky and it just looks like it's trying a bit too hard, but each to their own, I suppose. Also new are new front bumper designs, and there's also a new rear bumper as well, although the front wings are carried from the last S-Cross. So the base model S-Cross starts at £14,999, and for that you'll get usual features such as air conditioning, Bluetooth and electric windows and so forth. But the model I'm sat in is the SZT model, which is the mid-range model, which is priced at £19,499, although this one has had the mineral grey metallic paint fitted to it, which does bring the price up to £19,929. So it is a little bit more than the base model, well, quite a bit more, but you do get more for your money. So you get automatic headlights and wipers, you get cruise control, you get satellite navigation with DAB radio, smartphone connectivity, Bluetooth, dual zone air conditioning, and yeah, a few other features. Well, you also, I almost forgot, you also get rear facing camera for parking, and you get front and rear parking sensors, which is very helpful indeed. Now, if you do have a little bit more money, you can go to the SZ5 model, which is the top of the range model, which is priced over £20,000, and that will include leather seats, heated front seats, panoramic sunroof, and adaptive cruise control. Finding a good driving position was quite easy, as the steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach, which is quite handy. Headroom in the front is pretty good as well, but the same can't be said for the rear, where anyone over my height, i.e. 6'2", may struggle, but the legroom is okay, but it could be a little bit better. There's more space to be had in the boot though. 430 litres is on offer here, the same as the Nissan Qashqai, but not quite the same as the Seat Ateca, which offers 510 litres. But if you fold down the 60/40 rear seats, you can increase luggage capacity to 875 litres. So like the Suzuki Balena I tested a few weeks ago, this also has the 1 litre Boosterjet engine, which is mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox, and to be honest, it all feels quite familiar in here. You can also get a 1.4 litre Boosterjet and also a 1.6 diesel. The diesel offers more economy, whereas the 1.4 offers a little bit more performance but less economy. And in all honesty, the 1 litre Boosterjet does quite nicely in the S-Cross. Now on paper it does look rather slow. The 0 to 62 time is 11 seconds, which is quite pedestrian to say the least, but in the real world it's actually quite nippy. So I've just overtaken that cyclist and it makes progress pretty well. Yeah, the gearbox does need to be worked a little bit, and the gearbox itself is quite pleasant to use. It's got a nice slick action to it. I would like it to be a little bit more firmer. It is a little bit loose on the changes, but even so it's pleasant enough to use, so no real complaints there. Now in regards to the ride and handling, the ride is on the firm side. I can't escape that, but even so, that does mean one thing, and that means good handling. Got a bend coming up on the brakes, in second gear. It's good fun, so it just flew in the back, don't know what it was. Another good one, yes, like that. On the power. Now the suspension is on the firm side, there's no denying that. So it doesn't glide over the bumps as much as you'd want it to. But you know, swings and roundabouts, because it has firm suspension, it means that it handles quite well. And in all honesty, even though this is a sort of high-riding SUV kind of car, there's not actually that much body roll in the corners, and it's actually quite impressive. I drove an MG GS earlier this year, and that handled well, but I actually think this handles better. There are other gearboxes available as well. So if you want a 6-speed manual, that'll cost you £20,999, and if you want the 6-speed automatic, that will cost you £20,849. Now, in regards to 4-wheel drive, you can get that as well. This model is 2-wheel drive, but if you want 4-wheel drive, that will cost £21,299, and if you fancy going all out for the top of the range model, that will cost you £24,349. Present it with the right road, and it does become a little bit playful, which is just as well, because although Suzuki has made an effort with the looks, it's still a little bit basic looking, a little bit boring. The inside isn't much better. So the 1 litre Boosterjet engine, or let me get a bit of power. There we go. So the 1 litre Boosterjet engine and the quite, I'm going to say sporty handling. I think that's probably complimenting it a bit too far, but I'm going to use sporty. So for 1 litre Boosterjet with the sporty handling, it does give it a nice bit of character, which is what this car really needs. One thing I will say is that the steering is light. I would like a little bit more feedback, but even so, it works well enough. But especially as this car handles quite well, I would want a little bit more communication from the steering to let you know what the front wheels are doing. Speaking of which, this is front wheel drive, although you can get 4-wheel drive models, but again, you'll need to pay more for those. Bloody pheasants. I don't have much luck with pheasants. Jesus Christ. But at least I know the brakes work. One of the things I'm not a big fan of is the rattling that comes from the parcel shelf. Now, you won't be able to hear it now, but when it gets a little bit more bumpy, you may hear it rattle away. And in all honesty, it just points to poor build quality. So in regards to economy, the S-Cross is quite frugal. In regards to official figures, it's 61.4 out of town. In town, you're looking at 49.5 miles to the gallon, and on a combined run, you're looking at 56.4 miles to the gallon. And in my experience, when I was in and around town, I was able to do around 38 to 42 miles to the gallon. Out of town, I was looking at, well, I actually managed to get around 53 miles to the gallon on the motorway, and then when I combined it with some A roads, I was able to get 55 miles to the gallon, and on a combined run, I was getting around 47 miles to the gallon or so. Suzuki has definitely made improvements with the new S-Cross. It handles well and it offers a good level of kit, but the looks still aren't quite there, and the firm suspension may be enough to put some buyers off, so I think it may still struggle in the SUV market. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.